Stelman, Stelio Maneschi. Slanted Edge, 1986. In the interior landscape that Stelman, pseudonym of Stelio Maneschi, unfolds in Slanted Edge, reality no longer rests on stable foundations, it slides. The oil-on-canvas work stretches out like a geography of the unconscious, where forms do not inhabit space, but dream it. This style, close to surrealism, is the plastic translation of Stelman's poetics, who has been defined as the most representative artist of the fragmentation of 20th century art language. The title itself, Slanted Edge, does not merely indicate a formal solution, but defines an ontological condition. What is represented constantly lives on the limit, on the edge, in a state of fertile instability. The horizon is not horizontal, it is slanted, like consciousness when it approaches the darkest and most fertile zones of the mind. The slanted structure and the existential edge. At the heart of the painting, the oblique plane that crosses the scene is evident, a conceptual fulcrum that breaks horizontality. This plane is not only perspectival, but a metaphor for the off-axis world, symbolizing the instability of the self and liminality living on the boundary. The slant introduces a latent tension. Everything resting on it is precarious. The slanted plane is a state of mind, not a mere artifice. The visual structure is built on the aggregation of iconic fragments, a choice that proceeds from the unconscious, ironic and liberating. The sliding horse. Specifically, the archetype of the stylized horse rests on the slanted plane. This is not a naturalistic animal, but a memory of muscle, a symbol of instinctive energy and compressed freedom. Its anatomy appears elongated, liquefied, as if its force were subjected to a process of erosion. The figure recalls the delirious dream and deformed anatomies typical of Salvador Dali. However, in Stelman, the horse does not gallop. It slides toward dissolution. It is instinct that has remained imprisoned in awareness. Force is not consumed in the gesture, but in the dissolution. The veiled woman and the subtracted mystery. To the right of the horse, a female figure emerges, wrapped in a veil. Lacking a readable face, she merges with the surrounding architecture. She is the Anima Archetype, Jungian, the inner feminine principle, manifesting as a presence between the sacred and the profane. She is not a representation, but a retained epiphany, the icon of non-availability. The veil, far from hiding nudity, covers the possibility of a definitive gaze. It is not romantic mystery, but organized suspension, an emblem of the subtle anguish of the unfinished, suspended and weightless. Threshold architectures and memory. The space hosting these figures is woven with arches, stairs and portals, but they are always empty. These are not places to inhabit, but structures of thought, suggesting places of passage or thresholds between different worlds or states of consciousness. Behind the horse, for example, two arches act as a portal, surmounted by a column that can symbolize the connection between the known and the unknown. Above, black-gold ornamental masks cluster like remnants of an interior civilization, symbols of the threshold guardian archetype. From the pictorial earth, roots and plant stems infiltrate the architecture, embodying nature as an inexorable force and the unconscious eroding cultural time. The painting is not a painted dream, but a structure of the dream, a topography of the psyche. The edge as destiny. Through the fragmentation of pictorial language, Stelman does not seek unity, but accepts dispersion as an ontological condition. The work celebrates the coexistence of different worlds, inviting deep contemplation and suggesting a balance between the visible and the invisible. Slanted Edge leaves the spectator in a state of controlled cognitive vertigo. The painting neither consoles nor redeems. It exposes the fracture. Art thus becomes the place where the edge is no longer avoided, but traversed.